Welcome to the Diamond Mine Podcast with Nate and Lainey, where we listen to all 92 Diamond albums certified by Billboard. Today's album is
Pyromania
by Def Leppard. But before we get into anything about the album, I'm going to give some shouts to the social medias. You can't hold the social media names up if you're drinking water.
Yes, I can.
Well, right there, as you see. That's the Twitter, TDMPod, TDMPOD. That's where it is right there. Our Instagram, the Diamond Mine Podcast. Hold it up. The Diamond Mine Podcast. That was a long one, so that one might be a little bit more heavy. And if you're an audio listener and you want to see our face cam, see visual shenanigans, like Lainey holding up the Twitter handle and such. Why are you... You don't have to hold up the YouTube. Our
It's
YouTube is...
empty.
I would have put like a... I don't know.
It zooms in on my face.
Oh yeah, but the YouTube is the Diamond Mine. If you want to find us, just sort by channel or look up the Diamond Mine Shania Twain or the Diamond Mine Kenny G, because we all know circles back to Kenny G.
We normally can find a way to talk about Kenny G in the commentary, but we haven't in the past couple episodes.
You know,
Disappointing.
sorry, Kenneth. Much love.
Speaking of, apparently, no, this will circle back to Kenny G. I found out today that the same people that do, that work with, like, I don't know if they produce the music, but they work with Dolly Parton. Oh my gosh, it's gonna kill me if I can't think of it. No. It's Dolly Parton, Kenny G, and other, like, famous people that I can't think of right now. But they're all under the same company. Isn't that weird?
What do you mean, like, they're all under the same record label, or like...
I have to find it. Hold on. What's the name of the dog that I follow? It's Dolly Parton's dog.
Just here to talk to y'all. How's your day been? How's your week been, honestly? Did we like the Lion King album podcast thing? I thought that was a pretty good one, honestly, with on the us side and on the editing side. I thought I had some funny edits in there. So, yeah, if you like that, shout out.
Okay, it's CTK Enterprises, proudly representing Dolly Parton, Casey and the Sunshine Band, Barry Gibb, who's in the Bee Gees, Kenny G, I don't know who that is, and I don't know who that is. It's based in Nashville, Tennessee. Oh, my goodness. Okay. But I don't know what it is.
I don't know either. Maybe they, like, manage their social medias or something?
Maybe.
Perhaps. I don't know.
I just found it through Dolly Parton's dog's Instagram.
Anyways, give them the specs on Pyromania.
Pyromania went 10 times platinum. It was released on January 20th. We're specific now. 1983. It has 10 songs, and thankfully it is only 45 minutes long.
Yep. So, do you have anything that you would like to say to the viewers before we get into this?
No.
Okie doke. Well, this first song is called Rock Rock, and in parentheses, Till You Drop. Actually, though, I do want to say this, and I didn't say this while we were listening, but it sounded so eerily like this. In the beginning, they're playing this guitar. Obviously, it's a rock band. And it sounds like Phantom of the Opera to me. Like,
okay, see,
I think that's Phantom of the Opera. But instead, their guitar is just like, bow, bow. Like the same notes, it just doesn't have the little walk down. And I heard that and I was like, oh my gosh, this is literally just Phantom of the Opera.
See, I wouldn't know though because I've never seen or heard anything of it.
Mm-hmm.
I've been meaning to for years.
Honestly, sorry. Kind of boring.
However, Kylie will talk about you in a minute. They do. Drag queens talk about Phantom of the Opera.
Just as a whole.
They bring it up a lot. They're cultured. I
don't know. Nice.
Anyway.
Yeah, we were talking about drag queens before this. Anyways, they have lots of AC/DC vibes with the vocals and the musical style. Just because, I mean, this all came out, like, pretty similar timing.
Interesting you said AC/DC.
Why? Do you have a different opinion, or did you say the same thing?
I had a different band.
Oh, okay. They're just pretty much flexing how rock and roll they are. It's an okay song. I'm not really a huge fan of the voices that, like, the voice that I guess this genre of rock, this early 80s rock,
The hair-
or just
the
80s in
hairband.
general. That voice that they use where they're like kind of screaming, but it's more like
I want to rock.
that. I'm not a big fan of that, and just I could get past it though. To listen to this album, I could deal with it. I don't hate it. It's just not my favorite thing. Their lead guitarist can shred, and that's about all I have to say about that. So
I wrote a lot more than I remember. So, you said AC/DC. I said it sounds like the Bon Jovi album we listened to recently. Wasn't
interesting.
When was that released? Was that the 80s or 90s?
That was 80s for sure.
Okay,
Slippery
that's
When
what I
Wet. That was definitely 80s.
Okay, so I'm not that far off, thank you.
No. I just don't think that the
It's just because it's an 80s rock album. Like, it has the same components.
yeah.
If that makes sense. Honestly, I normally don't mind the voice, the high-pitched voice, but when we sat here and, we listened to it for 45 minutes straight, it does kind of get old, I won't lie.
Yeah.
And I knew it would at this point. I was already predicting it and saying it was going to get old. The song, simple drum beat, relatively simple riff. It's pretty repetitive. There's some harmony in the bridge and chorus. I just thought it was a mediocre song.
Yeah, just okay.
Okay. But every rock band like this, I guess it's more of an 80s thing. And maybe it's just like their first big album. They always at least have one song that's like, yeah, rock and roll.
For sure.
That's exactly
it's
what
literally
the
just
song
like
was.
a song dedicated to like, yeah, we like rock and roll.
We like to rock.
Isn't that the like song that the SpongeBob song is parodied from? We want to rock, or something like that.
Yeah, that's exactly what it's from.
That's funny.
No, but
is it by anybody we know?
Oh my gosh!
Hold on.
If you hadn't asked me, I could have told you.
I got
Anyway, but Bon Jovi had a song like that on their album too, if you remember. They had a rock and roll song.
Did they?
Yes.
Do you remember
Nope.
how it went at all?
I don't remember anything.
Twisted Sister. I wanna rock.
No. Okay.
Oh yeah. By the way, Slippery When Wet came out in '86.
Okay, so 3 years after this. Again, wasn't far off. Maybe this could have been influential because a lot of people said that this is a really. I wrote it down later on, so I might get to it, but it's a really big album for its time. Getting back to the music, though, the last minute and a half I liked more than the majority of the song because they had short guitar solos and it was a change up from the main sound. But this song itself was more poppy than I thought rock.
Valid.
Next.
The next song is called Photograph, and I was really hoping it was just
Look at
Nickelback.
this photograph.
Has less of a screaming kind of voice. I've heard this one before, but I noticed it during the chorus. They have some cowbell going on in the pre-chorus, and I appreciate. Always rep the cowbell. This song's fun. It's just kind of like your basic 80s hairband kind of song, and that's really how most of these songs are. It's just kind of your basic 80s hairband, and that's what you're into, but it's just kind of meh.
When I said the Nickelback thing, I just thought of the meme where he's like, look at this graph. Anyway, you talk about hair bands. So, like, Poison and Motley Crue are hair bands, too. Because I looked up other hair bands. And they're all touring together.
Really?
With Joan Jett.
So it's like a hella mega tour, but for 80s bands? Speaking of the hella mega tour, me and Lainey are going to that.
Green Day, Fall Out Boy, Weezer, and The Interrupters is the fourth one.
Expect some sort of content.
Hopefully good content.
Yeah. Whether that's posts on Instagram and Twitter or maybe a little something special. Then, yeah.
Yeah!
I'm looking up Nickelback photograph memes. It's literally just a picture of him. I can't believe we're doing this on an audio podcast. Anyways, do you have anything to say about that?
Anyway, I haven't even.
Yeah, I just want to know if you had anything to say.
Okay, so I 100% have heard the song before. I hear it every time I turn on the classic rock radio station.
Is that the one with the weird guys that make horrible jokes?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Yes. I already like this one. Like I enjoyed this one much more than the first one because this one had more substance to me. I admire the strong use of cowbell.
Mm-hmm. Admire is a very strong word for that.
More cowbell. Yeah.
You admire it?
Yeah.
Like you want to base your future self on
yep.
that use of cowbell.
I admire it.
Understood.
I admire the use of it. I want to use cowbell every day.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever seen the SNL skit?
Yeah, more cowbell.
Where it's supposed to be Blue Oyster Cult.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I mean, I'm pretty sure it's just about his infatuation with a girl, and he can't stop picturing her. Hint, hint. This, photograph. That's what it's called.
Yeah, and he wants more than a photograph, but all he has is a
Then,
photograph.
I think it was Joe Elliott, who's in the band, who said something like, it described it as something you'll never have.
Mm-hmm.
I think is what I read. I can't remember.
So he doesn't get the girl.
I guess, but that's how he described the song. It's just something you'll never have. So
Interesting.
I don't know. We can continue.
So, this next song is called Stage Fright. The guitar in this is very metal. Like, it's a lot of downstrokes, like... I can't remember the exact notes, but you guys know what I mean. Hopefully. And if not, I described it well, in my opinion. You can't really tell what he's saying sometimes through the, screamy voice. Luckily, we had the lyrics pulled up, so I could kind of follow it on that.
Yeah.
And I'm going to step back for a second. If you don't know me on a personal level, hey.
My name is Nate. I like long walks on the beach.
I give the 80s a lot of crap. Hair bands, I can stand it a lot more than I can stand, 80s pop or 80s anything other than 80s rock.
So Madonna.
Yes, Madonna's the bane of my existence. The song "Girls Just Want to Have Fun" is literally the bane of my existence.
I knew you were going to put Cyndi Lauper under there.
I think that is literally my least favorite song of all time.
Don't you dare.
I'm not
okay,
even
but
lying.
do you know any other Cyndi Lauper songs?
I think I do, but I don't know them off the top of my head. But I've definitely heard more Cyndi Lauper, and I don't like it.
True Colors?
How does it go?
I don't want to sing it because I'm not good at singing.
Put a big beep over here, Nate. Sing it.
I could see your true colors shining through.
Maybe.
See your true
Yes.
And then there's another one. Oh my gosh, it's gonna murder me.
I'm not gonna censor that.
At this point, what's the other one called?
Anyways, I give the 80s a lot of crap if you don't know me in person. And I can stand the rock bands a lot more than the Lionel Richies and the Cyndi Laupers and all that and the Madonnas.
Lionel Richie's on this list, and I think
I know.
Madonna has to be with Material.
Oh, she definitely is.
Okay, yeah.
But 80s rock bands, at least they sometimes, some of their music has more substance in my opinion, and they're good at the instruments that they play, and I really admire how good most 80s guitarists are at the guitar, and there's always the exception, but most of the bands have at least one exceptional musician in their band that I can really admire, and I really like that with the what, did I say the word wrong?
No, I said the drummer.
Oh, yeah. Also, we can talk about that.
We can do that later.
But yeah, I just I like that they're actually good at their instrument and stuff. I just don't like that they think they're the coolest people ever, and I can't really get past the voice sometimes.
Well, but here's the thing. Again, I get into that. People really think that this album was revolutionary for 80s rock.
I mean, it probably was if it was think about...
It came out in 83, so
think about what was out before this. The only thing that was out before this that I can think of is Back in Black, which came out in 80. And that was somewhat like this. That was I think Back in Black came out in 1980. And then you've got Def Leppard coming in 1983.
Motley Crue was already out.
Motley Crue came out in 81, I think, right? Or was that 83 too?
It was 81.
Well...
They started... I think, their big album, their kind of coming into fame was 83.
But basically, stepping back from a whole, what I was trying to say is... I don't hate 80s rock as much as I hate 80s pop, but it's still not my thing. So, that's for anybody that knows me on a personal level. So, how'd you feel about that, Lainey?
Well, right from the beginning, the title of the song, Stage Fright, really grabbed my attention. getting into the song, I really liked how the guitar was heavier and had a faster riff. It was much meaner and dirtier sounding, which Nate kind of said was like metal when we were listening. And Apple Music described it as metal meets pop in this crystallized form of hard rock or something like that. I don't know. Didn't write it down. You can read the Apple Music description if you care to. The table squeaking.
Yeah. Also, the lights were shaking. Did you see that? Did we just have an earthquake or some shit? Oh, didn't mean to say that.
You gotta bleep that. No,
Dang it. Now I gotta bleep that.
I think that's us moving around so much. To be
Are you
honest.
sure? Because that was weird.
I didn't feel anything. And I'm sitting in a metal chair right now.
I know, but those lights just like wiggled.
Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Yeah. Anyway, the chorus was abysmal compared to the verses. Absolutely horrible. So that brought my rating down to a 6 out of 10 guy-liners. Next song.
Understood. The next song is called Too Late for Love. Yeah. It's got some like alien noises in the beginning, and the guitar almost sounds like a Western outlaw pulling up, like he is ready to duel. The chorus was really lame though. It's just, I was definitely enjoying this slower song a lot less than the songs earlier, just on a vibes perspective, but it was saying some weird stuff that I honestly just couldn't understand and make out in my brain what it was supposed to mean. So maybe from a lyrical perspective, the song was dope, but from a vibes perspective, see, look,
it didn't pass the vibe check.
It didn't pass the vibe check. Is it? No, it's not the fan, because it doesn't usually do that. It's definitely not the fan. Hold on. I'm going to look up Earthquake on Twitter and see if anybody else felt it. You go.
I'm almost uncomfortable with this. Is it sitting unevenly?
There's no way. I don't move it. I don't move it ever. Okay, if there's a demon in here right now...
Hey, don't start that.
I don't accept your energy. Go away. We're recording. Just, please.
Are you leaving this in?
Yeah, for sure. Totally.
Too Late for Love starts off with a heavy synth. I thought honestly, like the introduction of the song was kind of lame. Not gonna lie. Mm-hmm. The chorus is mediocre, even though this album is seen as, you know, a defining album for 80s rock. It was extremely repetitive towards the end. I mean, just end it. Just end it. You know?
Honestly.
Just end it. But the lyrics, kind of a fun fact, come from an old song that Joe Elliott had from a stage number called The Ship Sails Tonight that they used to play all the time, and then they cut it, and then they pushed it into this song.
I gotta tell you something after this recording. Please remind me to tell you. I literally cannot say that. It's with Sound Mind, with the audio recording, and knowing it's gonna have to be on my computer. But, yeah. Anyways.
Next song.
The next song is called Die Hard the Hunter.
Mm-hmm.
It's got, like, war sounds in the beginning. Like, a helicopter flying by and, like, sirens and stuff. It's weird. The song was 6 minutes. And, honestly, I usually don't say this about long songs. Didn't really feel like 6 minutes. I usually have a huge gripe with long songs being longer than they need to. But I thought the storytelling with this song left me... it grabbed my attention enough that it didn't really bother me that it was 6 minutes. And I also just really liked how good they were at their instruments. So that also brought me through those 6 minutes.
I think this is where I said welcome to hard rock, because this is a lot of the songs that you want, and I feel like this is the kind of song you aspire to write at some point. Anyway, you can continue.
The song had a story rather than just being about rocking the night away. So that immediately, this song is better than the first song or anything. Right. Oh my gosh, I just swallowed my spit really weird. I do that on like every podcast.
We have a compilation.
It matches like the Billy Badass vibe they want to give, and I thought that the instrumental was kind of a little unnecessary, but I enjoyed it. Just enjoyed hearing what their skills with their instruments, but I could see how a lot of people wouldn't enjoy that, and usually I don't enjoy that, and I don't enjoy that on most of the other songs in this album. I just was really particular with the song. I don't know, I liked it. So, how do you feel, Lainey?
Well, I had to go on. Like Nate said, starts off with war sounds. It's like that emergency siren kind of blare that you have. Helicopter bombs. So obviously your first thought is it's going to be about war, right? I will say that this has a similar start to the song One by Metallica, where they have like gunfire, helicopter sounds, that kind of thing going on in the beginning. And then the intro like comes in. Chills every time. But the song is actually about a returning soldier who goes on a murdering rampage, and a little tidbit is that they're actually going after the narrator, and it's from the narrator's point of view. It sounds, the way they perform it, it sounds a little more lighthearted than what you would expect, I think, with the lyrics or just like the content of it. And 6 minutes, I didn't think was necessary, because they could have cut the chorus or the bridge a little. Mm-hmm. So that made me not like it as much, which was a little irritating, because I think lyrics-wise, it was one of their top songs on the album. Mm-hmm. But the darker topic of the song was interesting to hear, and quite the change of pace from what we've been hearing in this album and Lion King. But then I was like, wait, maybe not really Lion King, since it is about like murdering people or
Yeah.
So anyway, next song.
The next song is called Foolin'. Not into this song, I'm not gonna lie. Just a little slower. They do this thing that I've yet to have to gripe about, but it is one of my pet peeves with songs, is when people stutter to make their words fit.
Foolin'.
I hate that. Like, literally, as a songwriter, why can you not just pick a word that fits your song? Why do you gotta stutter? I just don't understand. It really bothers me. Like a specific song, and this is more of a recent song, Block Boy JB, I think is his name, and he does this all the time with, what is that song called? He has a song with Drake, I think. He's the guy that made the shoot. The like, shoot, that guy. Excuse me.
I had to swallow and I didn't want to hear the
But he does this all the time, and they edit it so he's stuttering, so his words match the beat. Which, if you ignore it, I mean, the song is a good song, but it's literally like, if you realize if he's not stuttering, there's just huge moments of silence.
If you're a performing artist, why do you want to stutter on purpose?
I think it's just a really cheap way of...
Question of the day.
Okay, sorry. Got into something that I can't have on the podcast.
I almost said something that you would have had to cut, but I just
Oh my gosh, Lainey, please.
I'm gonna make this as difficult as possible.
You realize I have to edit this in one day and then post it the next day, and
Listen,
I'm doing stuff like all day tomorrow.
So I was ready to go at 7 o'clock today. I said we could have recorded Thursday.
But you didn't hit me up.
You didn't reply to me.
What are you talking about?
You said, what day are we recording? I said, I figured Friday, but I can do tomorrow, because that was
I might be able to do tomorrow, but I'll have a look. So I was waiting for you to have a look.
But you never replied back to me.
What am I supposed to say to that?
Okay.
Low-key, we just start arguing on the podcast.
Honestly, no, because sometimes I don't know if you ever read my texts.
No, I read them. I'm like an old man. Like, I'm very bad about...
No, you get on Snapchat. You don't read text.
I'm very bad about responding to texts because I don't know what to say. And then I feel like after I've read it for such a long time that it's awkward if I respond in, like, 10 minutes rather than just, like, responding right then.
I
so I overthink it. And I just don't respond because I'm like, okay, this doesn't need a response.
My problem is that either I don't want to talk to you or I open it and I forget. I don't care how long it's been, because literally that happened to me with one of my friends today. I accidentally opened one apparently, and then I went back and saw that she had texted me, and I replied back like 7 hours later.
Some stuff I just feel like doesn't need a response, and I felt like that didn't need a response. I was just like, okay, I'll let her go have a look. So I just didn't respond. You've known me since birth. You should know these things by now.
Yeah, but then you should know me that I need
Anyways, this song is just mediocre at best.
Okay, so when I call you out and you think you're wrong, no.
Lainey, my camera cannot hold clips that are over 25 minutes. This is why we always have cuts during the podcast.
We still have like 10 minutes left.
But we need to use our time as best as possible. Because I have plans for
going.
one more
You're still
cut.
going.
I have plans for one more
You're
cut.
still going.
I don't know what I'm going to do if I have to cut it one more time during the podcast after this cut that I already have a plan for what I'm going to edit in. What am I going to do? Anyways, the song, just mediocre at best. It's really repetitive. And if you're going to be really repetitive, keep it under 4 minutes. There's not really much to say. There's nothing in particular I love about it. And the song... And I just have a pretty key gripes, so, yeah, your turn.
Okay, I'm sad to admit that I have heard this song before. I don't really have a lot to say about it. I have, like, fun informational facts, but I don't really have a lot to say, but I like the instrumental of the song. The lyrics aren't really all there for me, but it's kind of catchy. Okay, getting into the little facts that I found on Genius. This hit number 9 on the mainstream rock chart and number 28 on Billboard Hot 100. Degrassi, do you remember that show?
Didn't that have Drake on it? And he was in a wheelchair?
Yeah, he was like a guest star or something. It was a Canadian show. They showed it on Teen Nick. Mm-hmm. But I think I was like just under the age gap to watch it, so I never even watched it. But they used to name their episodes after like 80 songs or whatever, and they actually named an episode after this song.
Huh. How about that?
You can play this in Rock Band 3. And Billy Idol's girlfriend was in the music video for the song, and the text that would appear before the video would start would read, "Indeed, a face without eyes," which is a pun on Billy Idol's song "Eyes Without a Face." Next.
The next song is called Rock of Ages. This is probably the biggest song on the album. I like that first count-in part, the Gunter Gleben. That was funny. Yeah. This one's pretty much a classic. I've heard this one. My mom liked this one. If my mom likes it, it's probably a classic. Also, he says, "I'd rather burn out than fade away," and I thought that was very valid. I'd also
Would you like to elaborate?
No.
Okay.
Just fading away, that'd be lame. Like, you gotta go out with a bang. Like, if you were gonna be like, who's a washed musician that still makes, like, Madonna? She
doesn't make music anymore.
Yeah, she does. I'm pretty sure she does. I know she came out with a song in, like, 2016. Okay.
Def Leppard.
Do they still make music?
I don't know. They're going on tour.
Or did they burn out?
They're going on tour, though.
So they faded away?
They need money. That's what they need. But hold on.
Either way, I'd rather burn out than fade away. So I just think that's a valid statement. The thing is, though, I don't think anything about this song stands alone and makes it better than their other songs. Other than the part where they sing "Rock of Ages," like the "Rock of Ages," that part. Mm-hmm. Well, it's only like a 5-second section, and they only do it twice.
Their last album was 2015.
Like their last ever, or their last one that they made?
The last one they made.
So maybe they'll come out with another one. I don't know. That kind of seems. It's been like 6 years.
Yeah, they can fade out.
But yeah, they just want to rock. So, how do you feel about "Rock of Ages"? Because I know you've got some strong opinions.
I didn't write a lot. I said the intro is the best thing that I've ever heard. For a few reasons. Yes, the counting, but then also, I can't remember the intro now.
Gunter Gleben something.
Yeah, but it was also that and like before the lyrics even started. I can't remember the intro. It's irritating me. But anyway, I thought this was another one of those like rock and roll songs. Mm-hmm. So they had a 2 for 1 on this album. Thank you. Mm-hmm. Mediocre. Other than the intro, the chorus is probably my favorite part. But I really don't have a lot to say, so we can move on.
The next song is called "Coming Under Fire." I don't like this new voice that they have in the song, and I don't really know what to say. It's just basic 80s rock song, and I can't knock them for it because this was 80s, and they're a basic 80s rock band. And if you want the most stereotypical 80s rock song, here it is. So, what's up with you, pimp?
No. Intro is the definition of an 80s rock song. Big change in voice, but I didn't like it. It sounds like he has a distortion, or like he's talking into a pipe, like when you would talk into like a paper towel roll or something like that. That's exactly what it sounds like. Just kind of sounds like the same as everything else. Solid drum beat and guitar solo. Nate talks about a formula a lot. That's kind of what this song was. Moving on.
I think you wanted to open the song.
I did. Very repetitive and quite X-rated. Action, not words. Nate.
So action, not words. He's making porn. He literally just wants to make porn. And just because I thought this was funny, I was having a good time. One quote from the song is, "Lights, camera, sound. I need action."
That's going to be your senior quote.
Yeah, totally. And I guess this is where we can get into a fact about the drummer. So after the song, we called my girlfriend because my girlfriend, one, really likes this band, and two, we were talking about drag queens, and my girlfriend also really likes drag queens. And they were talking about drag queens, not me. So the drummer for this band has one arm, and he plays the snare with his foot, and has like 4 or 5 pedals on the floor, and I saw his drum setup. It was very interesting. So yeah, she told me that. So shout out to Kylie. You comment on our YouTube videos. The GOAT. Yeah, anyways.
Oh my gosh.
So this next song,
The
actually,
last song.
you hear that? Lassie! What is it? Is somebody in the well? Oh, okay. Whew, and I'm back. Sorry. Lassie, you know, I don't even need to give you all the details. Y'all don't even know. The next song, and the final song, is called Billy's Got a Gun. The bass is nice. It's like, I'm not even going to try. It's on and a 1, and then it's and a 2. So, like, no. Yeah, I like it. I was relatively bored. I'd like it better if they didn't already touch on a murderous person literally earlier in this album.
This one wasn't as good, though.
Yeah, this wasn't as good. The execution of the story wasn't as good. It wasn't as interesting.
It was just like, he's got a gun, he's dangerous.
Yes, and like, watch out for him, he might kill you. So
it reminds me of Foster the Kid's Pumped Up Kicks or whatever.
Yeah.
Dude, the entire thing is shaking. I don't know if that was the camera that time or if it was the lights.
You're lying. No, it's okay.
It has to be the fan vibe. Like,
maybe, but I feel like it's never done that.
Have we had this conversation before?
Does the camera shake throughout the podcast and we've just never known?
I'm pretty sure we've had this entire conversation before.
No, I don't think so. I don't remember this.
I'm having deja vu hard right now.
We had it earlier today.
No. Like, because earlier today you said, no, it's not the fan, but then when you just said it's the fan shaking that, and then you said, has the camera been shaking? I swear I've had that conversation before. Let's finish this.
This is eerie.
Let's finish this. I hate this episode. I hate this episode so much.
So, anyways, yeah, this would have been more interesting if they hadn't already touched on this subject earlier in this album. Also, the last 50 seconds of the song is not necessary. It should have just ended when the guy says bang bang. Your turn.
I kind of agree with that. I didn't have a lot, so I just wrote, so Billy has a gun, he's a loose cannon, he's dangerous. Interesting end with muted drums and synth, almost reflective of shooting, but, I mean, they could have gone without or cut it, like, half the time. So, that's all I have for this podcast episode.
So, in conclusion, album, in my opinion, very meh.
Mediocre.
There were some songs there was like one song I enjoyed super duper hard, which was the
soldier killing people.
Yes, I really liked that song. But majority I didn't, and I had quite a few gripes throughout the album. All in all, it's just okay. Would I listen to it again? Probably not. So where would you put it on the 1 through 92?
I mean, it's at 66 right now.
Mm-hmm.
Man, okay, I'm trying to think of everything we've listened to so far. I guess... Oh, man, I don't know. Around where it is now. Maybe, like, a couple spots higher.
So where's it at now? Like 60 what?
I'll say 63. 64.
Somewhere in there. I'd probably have it lower.
Oh, no, right now it's at 66.
Okay.
I was saying mine.
I'd probably have it at, like, lower 60s, upper 70s. Like, it's just meh.
Where did we put Kenny G?
Kenny G.
Wasn't he in the 60s?
Was he in the 60s? I thought he was in the 50s.
Oh.
Was Kenneth? Where was Kenneth? Was this better than Kenneth? This might be better than Kenneth.
It's close.
It's very close. It's late 60s, early 70s, somewhere in there. Anyways, social medias. The Twitter, TDMPod, TDMPOD. Follow us on there. We post every single time the new podcast comes out, and sometimes we just do random stuff on there. Instagram, the Diamond Mine Podcast. We post every time something comes out. And the YouTube, for audio listeners that want to see our lovely faces, the Diamond Mine, just look up the Diamond Mine, sort by channel, or you could look up the Diamond Mine Shania Twain, or you could look up the Diamond Mine Kenneth Gorlick. Obviously not Kenneth Gorlick, but Kenny G, because it all circles back to Kenny G. This has been the Diamond Mine Podcast with Nate and Lainey. We'll be back at you next week with Britney Spears. Oops, I did it again. And here's a picture of a piece of ham.